group as always. Well, welcome everybody. Julie has brought forward for the month of November the concept of attachment. So this evening we will center our meditation around attachment. See if we can't connect a few dots. So go ahead and take a minute and get yourself in whatever comfortable meditative position works for you. Whether you want to lie down or stand up or walk on the dock like our friend Dean is doing, which just sounds delightful. I'm going to go ahead and take some time here to do a little bit of breathing. If you have a breathing exercise, please feel free. I'm going to do a very slow inhalation of an 8 count. I'm going to hold at the top for a slow count of 8. And then exhale. And I'm going to do that 3 times, and then we'll go ahead and get started. As you continue to breathe, be mindful of the air and the oxygen that comes in through the nostrils, fills the lungs, nourishes the body. And as you begin to exhale, let go of the day. And just breathe. Bring to mind any tension that might be between your ears, your forehead. Relax the cheeks, your jaw, down through the neck, across your shoulders. Just let any tension seep down the arms, past the elbows, past the wrists. And let it just drain out the palms of your hand into the ground below. And just breathe. Be mindful of any tension that might be in the upper back, your chest, down into the solar plexus, your lower back. Just let the tension drop down past the hips, down the legs, past the knees, down through the bottoms of your feet into the ground. Mother Earth is happy to take it for you. And just breathe. Life has been so busy, times seems chaotic. I was thinking back to a time as a child, sitting in my school desk, staring at the clock, watching that minute hand tick by ever so slowly. seemed like it took forever to complete one revolution, 1 minute to pass by. I thought those days would never end. And sometimes I cherish the days when I could just sit at my school desk and have time go by slowly and gently. So I want you to take a minute, imagine yourself up on a grassy knoll, bright blue sky up above, the sun beating down on your forehead. And in the grass, imagine yourself sitting at a school desk. Pretty sure most of us were in one at one time, or at least we've seen one. And just take a minute and feel yourself sitting the hardwood seat they typically had, the old smooth surface of the top of the desk. And just sit there and look out in front of you and see a beautiful green valley below, a bright blue lake off in the distance, the gentle breeze as it wisps by your face. You're warm and safe and secure. And just breathe. And just take a moment. And as you look down at the desk, you're going to see 3 pieces of gum. The one on the left is wrapped in tinfoil. The one in the middle, small square piece of gum with a plain wrapper. And the one on your right will be striped, fun colors, greens and purples. And just breathe. And take a moment and pick up the first piece of gum on your left. Feel the texture of the foil around the gum as you gently unwrap it. Put the gum in your mouth. And whether it's sweet like juicy fruit or minty fresh like peppermint or spearmint, just imagine that first burst of flavor that comes when you first start to chew a new piece of gum. As we sit here this evening, we're here brought forward by habit energy. For most of us, the first time we engaged in whatever that habit was, it was good. It brought forward some sort of joy, filled some sort of gap. Doesn't matter what it was, whether it be drink or drug, food, sex, caffeine, whatever it was, something snagged us. Something had that first burst of flavor. As we continued to chew on that, to chew on our habit energy, over time, the flavor dissipates. We continue to chew because it's in our mouth and that's what we do. even though the flavor continually gets less and less. And in time, even our jaws begin to get fatigued and tired. The gum has lost all its flavor. It's more work than it's worth. And yet we continue to chew. And just breathe. At some point, the gum gets old, and we decide to get rid of it. So imagine yourself removing the gum between your fingers, take it out of your mouth, and stick it to the underside of your school desk. It's okay, nobody's going to see you. And just breathe. As you look down at the desk, you see a second piece of gum, just wrapped in plain white paper. Gently unwrap it and see that it's red in color. And place it in your mouth. And this gum is cinnamon. It's got a little sweetness and a little heat. It's different. This is the gum of unskilled behavior. As a child, if we place our hand on a hot stove, there is zero good things we get from that. The pain is immediate. The memory is strong. And for the most part, we don't ever touch the hot surface again. But this is the gum that has just a little bit of heat, a little bit of sweet. Represents the times that we've done things that are unskilled, and yet, whether we realize it or not, there's a little juice, a little flavor to that. Maybe we're satisfying a need to release stress, maybe conquer a fear, avoid embarrassment or shame. But we get a little something from the cinnamon, a little heat, a little sweet. And we continue to do unskilled things because it just wasn't quite bad enough, like touching a hot stove. But like all gum, in time, as we continue to chew, we get a little less and less juice, a little less and less flavor. The unskilled behavior becomes bland, no longer satisfies our desire for a little bit of heat or a little bit of sweet. In time, it gets to be a struggle to continue to chew. The jaw gets tired. And somewhere we find the practice, we find the Sangha, and we decide we've had enough. So imagine yourself taking the gum from your mouth and gently putting it underneath your desk. Just stick it under there and just breathe. As we look down, there's one piece of gum left, wrapped in bright green or purple colors. And unwrap this piece of gum and put it in your mouth. Gum is a sour gum, like a sour apple or a sour grape. Makes you pucker up a little bit, gets the saliva going. This is the gum of unskilled speech. Like behavior, in the beginning, when we say something that's unskilled, we're satisfying a need, releasing a stress, lashing out because of fear, guilt, or shame, defensive of ego. And though there's a sour, bitter taste to it, there's some sweetness. We get a little juice from it. And so we chew. And just breathe. And this gum, like the others, over time, loses its flavor. We get less and less juice from saying things unskillfully. Doesn't satisfy us like it used to. And at some point, we find the practice, the Sangha, and we decide that the gum has no flavor, our jaws are tired. And once again, we pull the gum from our mouth and stick it under our desk. And we breathe. Whether it be the three jewels of the Buddha, the teachings of the Dharma, or the Sangha, there are times where we think about reaching underneath the desk, grabbing that cold, stuck piece of gum and putting it back in our mouth. And it still has no flavor. It's super hard to chew. But it never goes away, just gets smaller, less desirable. And you can always just stick it under the desk. So you've cleared off the desktop. You're on this grassy knoll overlooking a beautiful valley, bright blue sky, the sun on your forehead. Just take a minute or two and remember a time when time was so slow. And just enjoy it. Just enjoy each second as it ticked by. You have nowhere to go, nowhere to be. Just breathe. So precious is the time. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Gently bring yourself back to the room. Be gentle with yourself. Thanks for everybody that shared such a beautiful evening. I must say, I appreciate the compliments on meditations, but I greatly appreciate those that don't agree with a meditation. To stir someone up is a huge compliment, and I love that everybody is open and willing. So beautiful, beautiful things. So thank you all. All right, so let's go ahead and do a dedication of merit. This evening we brought forward the old school desk. We brought forward the concept of gum and how it relates to habit energy. But in the beginning, it may be good and yummy, and towards the end, it's tasteless and exhausting. As we go through our week and our year and our days, may we recognize that everybody has a little gum stuck somewhere. You have a wonderful evening, a great week. Namaste.